Hi, and welcome. I hope everyone had a lovely Thanksgiving last week here in America, the United States. Ours was the usual, lots of food and laughter, and it was a good time. I always wonder why we cook so much, though. But it's always nice to gather around the table and count your blessings with your family. So, that being said, it is a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday here in New York. The sun is shining. The temperature, the thermostat hasn't been turned up outside though. It's like 33 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's pretty cold. The trees are all bare. Maybe sometime I'll do a little walk around, maybe even here, and put a clip in and show you what the fields and the woods look like around my house. It's beautiful in its own fall way. But yeah, so we're kind of buckling down, getting ready for the cold of winter. So, I haven't started decorating for Christmas yet, though. I'm hoping to do that this week. December 1st is Friday, so something to look forward to. I haven't been feeling much like doing Christmas stitching since my last video before Thanksgiving. I've only worked on two things, and one of them is an FFO because I wanted a small sampler to put on my food table. And so I picked Lizzie Kate's Thanksgiving sampling. And I think I got this at Bat and Kill Stitchery in Vermont when I went there to look around. And it was really cute. And all I did was I used some of the coffee dyed Aida that I used for some of my Halloween pieces. Only took a small piece. And that's what that looks like. I just bought that frame at Walmart. And just stuck it in there, and I think it looks pretty good for just a little piece to sit on the buffet table. So that was fun. And then the only other piece that I've worked on, and I worked on it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. This is taking me forever. But it's Satsuma Street's Pretty Little New York. Amanda, the Lazy Stitcher, just finished it. Hers looks great, very beautiful. And this is what mine looks like. I think mine's mostly because I keep jumping around. I don't really finish a building. I just keep moving around. But this is what mine looks like. And I like it. It's on another piece of hand-dyed Aida. And I love it. I think the sky is really going to look like a sky over Manhattan. I'm thinking sunset, because that's usually the time I was out walking around Manhattan, that and after dark. But I suppose it could be a morning sunrise too. But I really love the piece. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm watching stuff on television at the same time, so my attention is divided. And probably if I paid more attention, it would go a lot faster. But, oh well, it's not a race, is it? Let's see. I do have some notes, because that was all of my stitching. I do have some other things, so I can't say that's all of my stitching. Because in my last video, I said that I had gone to Bat and Kill Stitchery in Vermont and looked around, and she has tons of stuff. It's a small shop, but it is jam-packed, and it has all kinds of models in it, mostly needlepoint, but has tons of cross stitch, Mirabilia's, Lizzie Kate's, Blackbird, has all of it, and all the threads. I mean, threads are amazing, because it is mostly predominantly a needlepoint shop, But let me tell you, she has every thread. So this is my kit for my class. Came in a plastic bag. And yes, I do have a picture. Actually, I got both of these charts, the snowman and the tree. And the class was the snowman. And you can see there's a charm and 3 buttons. And there's different stitches in the snowman. And it has a material list. It has a material list on both of them. And I got the, I'll show you what the snowman looks like. I haven't gotten him very far. Deb painted the canvas for everybody. So this is a hand-painted canvas. And the mail person just showed up. My dogs are gonna bark, so I'm sorry. But this is how far I got. There's some satin stitch and some mosaic stitch. And you can see I did the hat and the checkerboard. And I got a lot of the stitching in the face and the nose. And then I did the center stitch there down the sweater. And I started doing the mosaic stitch inside. So this is Needlepoint, and it's canvas work. And so in the kit, Deb gave me the stretcher bars because she wasn't sure if I had them or not, so that was nice. I got paid for them, but that's okay. But the threads are phenomenal. I mean, some of these things I've never worked with before. There's this stuff, which is called flare. And it's like a jersey. I mean, it's like nylon. It's like a women's nylons. And talk about interesting to try to stitch with. And I think I used that in the hat. And then there's another piece of it that's orange that I used for the nose. And it's got like a piece of shimmer, almost like a shimmery pearl cotton that runs down inside it. And so that was used for the nose. And it's all kinds of fibers and all very interesting. You can see some of it are full cards and some of it is just like however much you might need for the piece. And I will say that needlepoint, to me, I mean, not that cross stitch isn't expensive, because it can be, depending how much stuff you need to buy, like a chatelaine can get there, so can Hades. But a hand-painted canvas, I'm shocked, because just a small one could be $50 just for the canvas. So anyway, that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself. There were 2 other ladies there from Albany who used to be cross stitchers, but now they do needlepoint because they say that I'm coming into the light because needlepoint has so many other stitches and goes so much faster. And this is on a needlepoint canvas, which would be the same as a counted canvas. And this was a lot of fun, and I haven't gotten any further on it, and I really need to. Because while I was there, I also, of course, you know, why would I go anywhere and not spend some money? So while I was there, I was looking through some of the needlepoint patterns, and this may be tacky. There's a price on it. It's okay. It's not going to kill anybody. This is a counted canvas design, and I'm not really a pink person. I don't know why I picked a pink pattern. Normally it would be greens, something in green. It wouldn't be flamingos in flight. It might be peacock garden or something, but it's got all the different specialty stitches, and I really love it, and it's beautiful. And it's done on a pink counted canvas, which I'll just hold it up and show it to you because that's kind of a blush pink, which is really pretty. I forgot to get the stretcher bars for it though, because it's like a 12 by 12 and I don't have bars that size. So next time I go over, I'll have to get them. But here, I'll show you some of the threads I picked up. Here is a it's in French, of course, Frécis du Bois, and it's a Karen watercolor in shades of pink, and it's really beautiful, gorgeous. And then I got a bunch of DMC pearl cottons, and I'm glad that Deb was there because I think I had picked them up in size 8 or something, not paying any attention to the size, just looking for the colors. And of course she has everything, so she wound up having to put back most of what I picked up and get me the size 5s that this design actually calls for. It's just something else to be aware of. But there are some of the colors in that Flamingos in Flight, that, and then of course the Karen watercolor. And then of course there is also a ribbon floss in peach. And there is a ribbon floss shimmer blend in Coral Rose Ice Pink, which, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. So I got all of this and a pink canvas, and I don't usually do pink, so I would say that I'm stepping out, trying something different. And who knows, I may even put some beads or crystals on it. My counted canvas piece may start looking like a chatelaine. I don't know. Fun times. So that was my really fun projects. And I'm sorry, I'm looking down because I do have notes. And I'm trying to decide where I'm going to go from there. I think I'm going to go into my acquisitions because I just showed you my Vat and Kel Stitchery haul. And I also received my Color and Cotton. I'm back in that mailing list, and I should be getting a fabric too this month, I think. And I think everybody's already shown these. I'm a little late to the party, maybe. Of course, I don't know. I may have even showed it in my last video. I'm not sure. But I'm sure that everyone has seen these colors, so I'm not going to say too much about them. I love this gingerbread color. I think that's really pretty. So I just need to put these away into bags and add them to my collection. And at some point, I will find the perfect project for them. And it will come out to play. Until then, thank you, Angela. I will enjoy those. And of course, would it be complete without a order from 123 Stitch? And this one, if you watched any of my earlier videos, like from last Christmas, you would know that I stitched Wise Men Still Follow Him, a Lizzie Kate snippet. So this year I bought Come Let Us Adore Him, which I think is adorable and will look really nice with the Wise Men Still Follow Him. And then I completed my Hometown Holiday series. I got The Florist, The Toy Store, and like I said before, sometime I'll walk through Cambridge and show you what Cambridge looks like. And then I got the town church. And the last thing I got from 123 Stitch, which by the way I have another order. They sent me another package. I had to order some floss and stuff. The last thing I got, you know, the Santa I'm working on right now is the Prairie Schooler 2017 Santa with the polar bear. Well, I went in and I saw this 2011 Santa, and he's got snowshoes. And one of the last gifts my husband bought me was a pair of snowshoes. And it has a cardinal, which reminds me of my mother. So I had to have this one. And I look forward to stitching that one. I will not be doing it on Davos fabric. I did restart my Prairie Schooler Santa. And I don't know if I showed it or not. I'll show it in my next video. I'm not sure. Anyway. And then, oh, Japan mail. I placed an order. And of course now I don't know if I ordered it on eBay. Or if I got it on Amazon, but I think I got it on eBay. And it came in from Shinkawa Choku, Tokyo. I always like looking at the customs labels. I don't want to show you my address, but you know, it's kind of fun to see, and it says it has a custom slip inside, and kind of fun. And of course I ordered it from Tokyo, so what did I get? I got the Henry VIII DMC counted cross stitch set kit, because I can't remember who's stitching this now, if it's Andrea or who it is, but I just saw this and I fell in love with it. It does have Ada in it. I'm looking to see if it says what kind of Ada. I mean, it doesn't seem like that. It seems like nice soft Ada. But the floss is all separated. There's another set just like this in other colors folded inside the kit to keep it all from tangling, I would imagine. And this is a nice sturdy DMC floss holder, and it's made out of plastic. It's not a cheap cardboard, and it even has the symbols and the color numbers on it. So, woohoo, my kind of kit. So I'm looking forward to that. And I placed a Joann's order. Haven't gotten it yet. I will show that to you because I did buy some cones of floss. Yes, I did. So anyway, that was Henry VIII, which I look forward to starting sometime. I don't know when. But let's see. What was the other thing people have been talking about? Now I'm looking for it. There it is. Flower floss. There's been a couple of YouTubers that I've seen on their videos. They talked about DMC flosses, and they mentioned flower floss, and I think it was kind of funny. It was a long time ago, and I don't know why they stopped making it myself, but I will show you flower floss. And maybe they do still sell it somewhere. I don't know. But when I got it, I got a chart, and it used all flower floss, and there's my flower floss. Isn't that terrible? I used some of it, but I didn't bobinate it or anything, because this is like a single ply. Let's see if I can find a piece of it. It's a single, there it is. Now I'm looking for a piece of white paper. Actually, I didn't just get one chart. I got that chart, and then with the house on it, And then I also got this window with the children. And I'm just looking to see if it says a year on it anywhere. But this came from the DMC Corporation, and it has cross-stitch instructions with it. And it says, our model was stitched on 28 count cream linen using 1 strand of flower thread over 2 threads. Now 28 count is like a 14 count Aida over 2. And it says it uses 1 strand over 2 threads. I don't know about that. Because if you look at this, let's see if I have take this and use the back of it. If you look at this, that's 1 strand. And maybe on this, and my furnace makes a lot of noise, and I'm sitting in the room with the biggest return because I have an oil furnace. But that's what flower thread looks like, and it's a single ply. And it's almost, I don't know if this picks it up. You know, maybe it'll pick it up better if I show the whole skein. But do you see the twist in it? It's almost like a very, very thin, fine pearl cotton. It's very soft. It's like petal soft. It feels like silk. It's beautiful thread. And it's comes in gorgeous colors. I mean, let's see if I can get a pink, well, kind of peach. Here's a purple. And here's a yellow. And there's a kind of slate deep blue. And there's a navy blue. And there's kind of a seafoam green, maybe. I was just looking because I saw that. Well, look at that. And there's a mint colored one for Minty Stitcher, who just started making Floss Tube videos. I saw her video today. And there's a slate colored. So they're gorgeous threads. I wish DMC was still making them, because now that I've pulled them out and I'm looking at them again, I think these would be a lot of fun to work with, because they're almost like dusty colors. Can you see that? They're kind of dusty and unbelievably soft. Unbelievably soft. I wish you could feel this. It's really beautiful. I'll have to stitch something with them, and we can do a comparison with regular DMC, because these are very soft. I just want to put them back in the bag because I don't kept them nice all these years. Now is not the time to mess it up. Like a craft archive here. Okay. Flower thread. And let's see. So it's been kind of uneventful. It's been mostly getting ready for Thanksgiving and friends and things like that. So I have something else I pulled out of the archive. And I did check to see if this class is still available, because I've been kind of splitting my time between YouTube and embroidery YouTubes. And I'll tell you, and haute couture, if you want to see sewing techniques, do a YouTube search on haute couture. Beautiful. And they do sewing tutorials, hem stitch, sewing sequins on, and doing tambour stitching, which is like, it's done on like a 40 count gauze, and it's a very fine little hook, and there's a nut on the front of it, and you're actually pushing it down, pushing the hook down through the fabric, and you're pulling up, you're turning it under the fabric and pulling it up, and then moving towards the nut, pushing it back down through the fabric, turning it, pulling it back up, and it's almost like a tiny crochet stitch through the fabric. And you can put sequins on and all kinds of things with it, and it's beautiful. And there are YouTube tutorials on that. So I've been getting a little bit distracted from cross stitch. So again, I went into my craft archive, and many moons ago I went to Joggles, which Joggles is now primarily paper crafting, but Barbara started out as a doll maker, and she used to sell a lot of doll making things, and she had a class annex on her website, and you could take all kinds of classes. And she went from anywhere from doll making to embroidery stuff. And so I had signed up for a Beetles and Stump Work online class. And back then, you know, you signed up for the class, and then they either released part of the class every week, or they just released it all at once and you could download it. The teacher would be available to email. There was boards that you could do discussions. This was kind of before Facebook groups, long before Facebook groups and all that stuff. But this is a Beetles and Stump Work class. So this class shows you how to make beetles using stump work. And I love all kinds of embroidery. And I just watched a YouTube video put out by Sarah Humphrey, who I'll try to remember to link. And she showed how to do a butterfly. And she doesn't use all this. I hit the limit on my one recording, so we're continuing on. Anyway, Barbara at joggles.com. She doesn't, the class isn't available anymore. And I don't think Barb sells this kind of stuff anymore. She may, but mostly hers is paper art, journaling and stuff now, stamping. But that's joggles.com, and I'll link that for anybody who's interested in that kind of stuff. I have another website that you might find really some interesting things on if you're interested in like ribbon embroidery and vintage type stuff, but that's coming. So this is Lutrador, which is, it's a cross between a fabric and a paper. And you can use it for mixed media, but you can stitch on it. You can do all kinds of things with it. So that's something I pulled out. And then, of course, there's I think this is buckram. It's very stiff. This is like the type of thing you can make fascinators with, which is a type of hat that just sits on your head and has like feathers and beads. And I made one of those a couple of years ago and wore it to a friend's wedding. That was a lot of fun. Yes, I do a lot of things. But anyway, here are the, now you saw the beetles. And again, I'm not a pink person. I like green. Bear that in mind. But here back in the day, when I was thinking about doing beetles in stump work, this is the color of the cotton I bought to do the embroidery with. Blue, pink, there's like a mint green there, purple, burgundy. Yep, that's me. And these are number, well, some of them are, one of them's number 8. This one's a number 8. The blue, the mint one is an 8. There's a couple of number 12s. The burgundy and the purple are number 12. So it just, the different size just gives you like texture. Let me see if I can get the variegated embroidery floss off it. Ooh, that's a pretty color. Look at the variegation in that embroidery floss. And I'm sure that's DMC. We're going to say it's DMC anyway. I think it is. It doesn't have a label. But mostly what I bought was DMC. Now this is a number 8, and I'm just looking for the end. Well, let's see if I've got one. Thank you for bearing with me. Well, this is Coates & Clark, and this is a really fine, this is the pink, and that's a very fine cotton. But these are just different weights of flosses and fibers. And there is Sarah Humphrey. She's from the like the Royal School of Needlework in the UK, and she's got some fascinating YouTube videos. At least for me, they're fascinating because I'm fascinated by embroidery. That was like the first thing I ever learned how to do when I was just a little kid. And I'm still fascinated by it. So, in that bag I also, sometime I'm going to show you all my beads too. It'll be an embarrassment, but I'll show you my beads. And so here, these are from Joggles because she was selling beads too. She may still sell beads. But, so, I bought these to go with my beetles and stump work. And you see this piece of, this is a piece of wire. And I think if I was going to do it now, this is just a leftover piece because I did make a beetle once upon a time. I think I would use a piece of white cloth covered florist wire, the really thin kind, and I would use that to put around my outside edge. And when you cut your fabric out that you've sewn your butterfly on, the wire around the outside edge makes it positionable. It's really fun. Again, I will link that down below too. And, like I said, Joggles doesn't really sell this. Barb doesn't really sell this. I think she's located in Connecticut. I've been to a couple of, back in the day, there used to be a week of workshops, which is kind of like a stitch, stitching get-together, a retreat. But we'd go for 7 days. And we'd stay at a hotel in Concord, New Hampshire, and it would be all kinds of workshops and classes you could take. And I've met so many really wonderful people. I can't say enough about going to these get-togethers. I've done my share, and I'm hoping to be able to go to a few more, but I really do recommend it. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, I was trying to get this website to come up on my tablet. This is my Kindle Fire. But it doesn't have a good mobile app. So I did this from my desktop and I printed it. And I will link this below too. But this is Janet, and the shop is called Vintage Vogue. And it's like a WordPress website. It's secure. Has an SSL lock on it. I've shopped with Janet for years and years. She has a newsletter, and it's velvet ribbons and satin ribbons and mother of pearl buttons, and she has silk embroidery ribbon that you can dye yourself. She's got pre-colored ribbon. She's got the vintage leaves and flowers, all kinds of beads. I mean, you name it. Vintage Vogue sells it. Stamens, the vintage millinery stamens. She's got finely ground emery. She's got German glass glitter. And these are the mother of pearl buttons. I mean, just beautiful stuff. And the thing I think I'm going to order from her next is she has this, I think it's 33, what did it say, 33 yards of white floss that's ready for dyeing for $10.50. So I'm thinking about ordering that. But she's got glass sleeves, and she's got stamped charms, and all kinds of things. So I will link Vintage Vogue below too. Janet is located in, I think it's South Monroe, Louisiana. I used to order from her a lot. Since I stopped making dolls, I hadn't been ordering as much. But now that I'm thinking about getting more into embroidery, I may go place a couple of orders for some fancy stuff from her. Very good prices. Some of her things, like she's got Hannah bias cut silk ribbon, and it's 65 cents a yard. She's got seam binding for dyeing by the yard for 30 cents a yard. So she has good prices, and I haven't shopped with her for a while now, but it used to be really quick turnaround, and the stuff is beautiful. And for you quilters, she also has like nostalgic needle art crazy quilting, and there's, I don't know how well that's because it's a teeny picture, but she's got a free block of the month type thing, and she has it on her Pinterest site. So you can actually print off, and I think she may sell the center picture. I used to do that too. That was a lot of fun. But she's got pin cushions and needlebook patterns and notions, and check her out. She's linked below. And that is kind of my sharing. Hopefully I didn't overshare and wear you out. Hopefully I did enable you, though, to go find some different and interesting things. I do have a couple of plans. Well, one plan that I'm going to share right now, and that's going to be a new start. And I've been wanting to start one of these for a while, and it's Nora Corbett, and it's Christmas Eve Couriers. And I think I'm going to start with Rudolph. Part of my 1, 2, 3 stitch order is some of the DMC floss that I should have and can't find, and a couple of other things. Of course, the Krennic metallic braid that I need, 032 and 421, I think we're out of stock, so I have to wait for that. But I was trying to figure out what I wanted to stitch these reindeer on, and so I had some opal fabric, and I'm not even sure what this is right now. It could be Lugana, maybe? I'm not sure. It could even be an 18 count Ada, but I don't think so. I think it's a Lugana. But so I've had a dyeing spray, and I did a fairly good sized piece of this, and this is just one piece, and that's how it came out. And I'm showing it to you sideways because I think for this I'll have to do it this way, and I overcut it so I can kind of figure out where I want to put Rudolph. But I wanted it to be more like a starry night winter sky. And I have the, let's see, I have 3 deer, and then I have the sled. So I thought the sled, would look kind of pretty on this starry blue fabric too. So far all the flosses I've had that I've tossed on it have looked good. So I'm going to start with Rudolph, but I got, let's see if I can find the right one. I got Vixen, because our one dog, she's a blue-nosed pit bull, her name is Vixen, so I thought I couldn't not get Vixen, so she'll be the second one that I do. And then next to Vixen in Santa's line is Prancer, because it's Rudolph, and then it's Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen. So there's Prancer to stand next to Vixen, and then Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen. and then it'll be Santa's sleigh. And I'm doing these individually because I thought they would look kind of cool in some type of a assemblage on the wall. But I want to keep them freestanding, so I have options. So that's kind of my Christmas plan, because to be honest, I have not felt like stitching Christmas. I do have the Prairie Schooler Santa that I want to finish, and I will show that to you in my next video. And I have Oh Holy Night, which there's no way that's done this year, maybe not even next year, because that's a big project. I have a Haid Santa Claus ornament size, which isn't a small project either, but it's Santa asleep in a chair with a cat on his lap. I do want to start that. I may start that sometime in December. And then I have some other things I want to start, but I'm not sure exactly when. And I showed you the pattern. I think it's Country Cottage Needleworks that Chelsea and Priscilla are doing, starting to stitch along on the 28th. It'll be probably a hashtag on Instagram. And Down Sunshine Lane is selling the pattern, and she has some the recommended fabric and the floss too, if you'd like to take a look. And I will try to remember to put that down below too. Yes, so I would say that this has kind of been an enabling time, hasn't it? I've just been having a lot of fun. It's kind of been a blast from the past for me, and I'm kind of going backwards. But I have all this stuff. I will do a video, get all my beads together, and I will show you my beads, because I've been doing this stuff for a long time. I've made jewelry, I do beaded face pendants, I do all kinds of stuff, and I have lots of beads. So sometime I will show you all my beads, and you can be jealous. No, not really. But I have a lot of beads, so I will show you. Yeah. I'm trying to think now, because yeah, I think that was quite enough, wasn't it? I intend to go back to Bat and Kill Stitchery soon, because I want to buy some more flosses, and I want to take another look around her patterns, her cross stitch patterns. I think I've got enough counted canvas work, at least until I've done it a little bit, to last me a little while. And I do need to go back for the stretcher bars, so I can even attempt it. So anyway, I hope that you are all healthy and happy and enjoying the fall. Staying cool in Australia and Southern California and Arizona and Texas and all those, and Florida and all those really warm places, because I am blessed, because I am very happy to live where I live. I mean, I like the warm, don't get me wrong, and I love palm trees. But give me a crisp, cool day in the fall with the smell of evergreens and wood smoke, and I know I'm home. So I hope you get that feeling too, wherever you are. And until my next video, take care and God bless. Bye. Okay, this is just a short clip to kind of show what the fall weather looks like. If you can, see if I can zoom in on that blue up there. You see now I'm trying to figure out where I'm looking. You see that blue tube right there? That's from people tapping my maple trees for sap to boil down for syrup. So in the spring, my woods are kind of full of all those tubes. And that's just a little shrub that's on the slate stacked wall behind my house. Because here in the Northeast, there's a lot of stacked slate walls. And those are the woods up behind my house. And we are actually very close to my house, because as I pan around, there's my greenhouse and my deck. And my house is right there. So this is my backyard. It's not very big here, but then it goes up into the woods, and that's all my backyard too. So it is definitely crisp and beautiful, and it's fun to hike. And I'm out with just a sweater right now because I have to get the mail, but I thought you might enjoy just seeing the woods now that all the leaves have gone. Okay, back to the video. And just a quick addition, this is the view across the street. Those are mountains before you get into Vermont. So